Someone in chat said something interesting. Jack, what would you do if you woke up one day and I was a worm?
A worm?
Yes.
How would I know you were the worm?
Well, I just be there. It will have black and pink hair.
Oh, what? No, no. If I woke up one day and you were a worm, I'd probably think that's kind of odd that there's a worm in the house, and then I'd like dismiss the worm immediately.
Oh my
You know,
god.
and then I would be like, "Where's Nikki?" And then I'd probably file a missing persons case, and for the rest of my life, I would wonder where you went. I just mourn the loss of my missing friend, who I'd probably spend the rest of my life searching for, because I wouldn't think they were a worm. I just think you would have went missing. Like I just think you were a missing person. It'd be tragic. I'd be heartbroken. It'd be an awful, awful scenario. Right? If I knew the worm was you, then it'd be a bit different. But there's no way of like the worm can't talk, can't tell you can't tell me you're you. You're a worm. So it'd be awful. It'd be a horrible, horrible scenario.
Oh my god! Hey, Chunky guys, that's amazing. I'm glad your day went good. That's good. We're talking about what happened if I was a worm. What if you how odd would you find it that there was just this worm following following you every day of your life?
The worm, you couldn't keep up with me. You're a worm.
I would try, okay?
And also,
I
don't mean to be cruel here, because again, I don't know the worm is you, but if a worm started following me a bunch, I'd probably just eventually kill it.
Oh my god, you would kill me!
I wouldn't want to. If I knew it was you, I'd protect it, but I wouldn't know it was you, and it would slowly annoy me. Because you can't say anything, you're just following me. I'm like, what's this fucking worm following me? Like, it eventually gets stuck to my boot, and I just kick it off, and it dies. You know?
Okay. What if I was a talking worm? What if you could
completely
understand?
different scenario. I'd be like, how did you become a worm? And then I'd try and do anything to get you fixed. I'd get you fixed. I'd take you to science. I'd be like, my fucking friend is a worm. And they weren't a worm prior, by the way. I'm not insane. Like, my friend is a talking worm now. But then I'd also be slightly terrified that they do experiments on you. And I'd hope that they take the humanitarian response and try and turn you back.
Yeah, they would probably just experiment on me.
But I gotta take you to science people to turn you back. Unless you're comfortable living as a worm. I don't know how to feed you. What do worms eat?
Salad, lettuce. You could give me lettuce and salad, and
okay,
and make me a nice terrarium where you fill it with dirt and.
I can do that as long as you're happy being a worm. Then I'd give you the best worm life possible. But only if you're okay being a worm. Otherwise, then I'd try and get you changed back.
Happy to be a worm. I wouldn't have to pay taxes.
But at the same time, I'd miss you as a person. We couldn't do people things together.
That's
and
true.
If I was that guy who just took this fucking worm places, I get looked at, which I would sacrifice. I'd do it for you. I'd take you places in your little jar, so you could continue living at least a fraction of the life you once lived. But at the same time, because I couldn't tell people you were the fucking talking worm, well then the science would get back into it. You'd have to pretend not to be a talking worm, and I'd have to pretend to be a fucking weirdo. It takes worms everywhere.
What if Jack accidentally sat on a worm? That's me you're talking about, chat. Oh my god. Oh. Fair enough.
What do you mean fair enough? As if that wasn't the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
That's really nice. That's actually look, chat's always. That's really nice. That's actually really nice. You would sacrifice being the weird guy who takes his pet worm everywhere for me to have a decent life. That's very sweet.
Yeah.
You would.
How long would you live? Would you live worm lifespan?
How long does a worm live?
Oh God, how? Oh, 4 years.
No.
I'd try and give you a good 4 years.
Thank you.
That, or I'd probably try and get you switched back so you wouldn't. But then if I got you switched back, say it took 3 years to switch you back, would you come back 80? Would you age at worm rate, and when you get back you'd be
No.
And then you'd be so old.
No.
And I'd still be a young man and you'd be old.
And what?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd feel sad.
Aw.
You miss so much of your life.
Aw. You're right. Aw. Well, Sophie said that she would be friends with Jack and his worm, so that's nice.
You can't know, Sophie. I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't trust anyone with that secret.
Aww.
I would be the only person on earth who knew about the worm.
Really? You wouldn't tell anyone?
I think as of
What
right
if
now.
my mom asks where I am?
And what? I tell her you're a fucking worm? Your mum's gonna she's gonna come investigate me, and then what will happen is she won't believe me. She'll think I fucking murdered you. She's gonna like let's face it. She's just gonna assume I like fucking killed you. And then at which point she's gonna, because if I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Oh, then again, maybe she wouldn't suspect me, but I don't know. Why is she asking me?
I don't know, because you're the last person that saw me.
Oh, in which case, then yeah, she's definitely gonna think I fucking killed you. At which point, then I've got to so I can't tell her that. I can't, because if I go, oh, I don't know, or no, even if I told her oh, your daughter's now a talking worm, she'll be like, this psychopath killed my daughter and is now pretending that she's a worm. And then she'd send the police, and then when the police found that you were a talking worm, because you are there as a talking worm, then you'd go to science again.
I would go to science.
At which point, then, in order to protect your worm life, I've just got to tell absolutely no one.
Would you not even tell your family? Would you not even tell your mom that? All of a
No,
sudden,
I trust my mother more. I trust my mother more with this information, purely because, from your mother's perspective, I'm just like your friend, and she's got no reason to trust me beyond. And you've gone missing at this point, so she's probably on edge. Where with my mum, she's probably not been thinking, I wonder where Nikki is. Which way if I went, Mum, I've got something I need to tell you. Nikki's a worm. What, you're crazy? And then I prove it, and I don't feel like she would. Because your mum would initially freak out and send the police. You just know she would, because that's naturally what you would do as a parent. But my mum would possibly, I feel like she'd be a safe person to tell. But then once I start telling my mum, then where do I stop? So I just think I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, yeah. What about your brother? Would you tell your brother?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
Okay. Chat, if you were a worm, I would still love you.
Oh, that's all you wanted? I went into all this depth and all you wanted is I still love you as a worm. Fucking hell, if I knew it was that, I wouldn't have thought about it so hard. I just want you to know that someone in your chat would use it as fishing boat.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Would you use me as fishing bait, Jack?
No, as much as I like fishing, I usually use maggots, not worms.
Oh, what if oh, ew, no, I don't want to think about me as a maggot.
It's not much better than a worm, is it? One day you become a fly, though. Wouldn't that be exciting? But they only live for a couple of days. I love hypothetical questions. I love them.
Jack, come up with some hypotheticals. If you want to. I'm not forcing you or demanding.